And it's the idea of doing what's best for the object of that love. All right? Loving my son does not mean giving him what he wants. It means giving him what he needs. Amen? Amen. All right? So in love, there's got to be no sometimes. Amen? Amen. All right? In love, there's got to be, okay? There's got to be this word here. Discipline. Okay? All right, I've got to be able to say no. Okay? I've got to show some consequences sometimes and say, hey, if you do that, you're not going to get this. In love. So love is not the peachy creamy, everything I do in my expression of love you're supposed to like. No. Love does what's best. Love does what is right. Love is not wrapped up in feelings. Let's say that, folks. Love is not wrapped up in feelings, all right? I remember parents saying, son, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. I didn't believe it for a minute, okay? I mean, if it's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you, give me the belt. All right? I mean, give me the belt, all right? But the bottom line is that, folks, loving somebody right many times does not feel good to you. Because discipline comes with love. The one thing about Fresh Start is a house about discipline. Born out of a congregation that loves people who have fallen. And in that house, there must be discipline. And sometimes I weep inside, sometimes I weep outside when we have to expel people from the house. That I think had great potential and were great people, but just could not and was not ready for recovery. So basically, folks, love is an action that gives its best, that sacrifices its best, that denies self. And loving someone, okay, the lover does not feel good. Many times, loving the person, the object of his love, because of the discipline part of it, all right? Because of the saying no part of it, all right? So I can't feel good about this, but I know I have to do it, all right? I know I've got to do it. And then love don't feel good to the recipient all the time. Many times they can't make it out as love. Many times they can't read it as love. But by and by, as time goes on, they wake up and say, wow, that was love. That's why 1 Corinthians says that when everything else shall cease, love will continue. Because that's the one thing that bonds everybody together, okay? Folks, we live in tragic times, okay? I mean, I'm laying a foundation, okay? Tragic times. Broken homes are epidemic. I mean, when people get married now, we don't say, oh, they look so great together, it's going to be great. We say, boy, I wonder how long it's going to last. Okay? Man, I hope it lasts at least 2 years. I hope it lasts 5 years, all right? And many people will say, man, I hope this is the right one this time, because they've been through it so many times. Okay? I've been on jobs, folks, where nobody I've worked with had been married only one time. Everybody had been through 2, 3, 4, 5. All right? Everybody. And the sad thing about it, folks, is it's hit the church. We got church folk who've been married 5 or 6 times. All right? Church folks, broken homes, all right? And at the jail where I work, I'm finding out, I've read it before, but I'm finding out firsthand what divorce does to the children. You see, the children feel like they've been divorced. They feel like there's something wrong with them. And so they suffer from parent abandonment. They suffer from father wounds. They grow up angry. They grow up hating themselves. And therefore angry at the world around them because of the breakup in the home. Child abuse. Something else, folks. I didn't see that a whole lot in the 50s when I was growing up. But this is something that is now epidemic. Child abuse. Parents taking out their anger on their children. Parents who are substance abusers. And you know, in substance abuse, you feel good one minute and then you act in a rage the next minute. And taking that out on the children. Taking out their pains, their anger, their frustration out on children. Child abuse. And folks, there are some abuses that are so outrageous, it brings tears to your eyes. The toss-up. You know, the woman who sex for drugs and then making her 11-year-old daughter, beating that 11-year-old daughter that the man wants this time so that she will do it with the man for the drugs for the mother. Isn't that amazing? Okay? I mean, those are the kind of kids we had at the boys' home. Okay? We had gone through in about 3 years about 21 crack babies. In other words, you're pregnant, the doctor says don't use crack cocaine, it's going to go right to your child. It's mental retardation, all kinds of things may result in this child who doesn't have a chance. Will you please refrain, will you please abstain at least until after you have the baby? Mama says absolutely no, but mama says after the baby's born, I love my child so much. I love my child so much. And don't even come close to the description, the definition that we have here. Children never experiencing father or mother. That's something that I can't relate to. Okay? That's something that many of us can't relate to, but guess what? There's a whole lot of folk out there that can relate to never, ever seeing or knowing who their father was. How does it make you feel? How do you think it makes that person feel? How about it? Many never have known who mother or father was. We had a gang of group home kids like that at our boys' home. And we were the first father or mother they ever experienced. We had one lady who would call her son up at the group home and say, son, your father was Tom Smith. That was your father. A week later, it was John Foster. Okay? A week later, nope, it was Sam King. Okay? And she would do that to the son that we had at the house at 15 and a half years old. He was wet in the bed, crying half the night. I mean, this kid didn't deserve that. So we had to tell the parent, you can't call no more. Okay? You can't even come over here no more. Okay? You're barred from this house. Okay? You're the parent, but you're crazy. And you are hindering the progress that we're trying to make with this guy. This is this guy's last chance at life. But folks, you got to ask yourself the question, how does a child grow up without the love of a mother or father? Okay? How in the world does a child grow up without love? 1 John chapter 4 verse 11 says, God is love. Love is the heart of relationships. It is the glue of connectedness. And without it, who are you? Who can you become? It's got to be the question, folks, of our ages.